Good morning, everyone. Once again, I am Robbie, the fifth lead since the inception of the Ad Standards Council. So, ako na po yung apo sa tuhod. Advertising, as we know well, has been mostly about storytelling. And right now, allow me to tell you one that, to my mind, is a very good one. This is a story about our very own ASC. One that tells you how it has flourished and what may be in store over the coming years. It's barely a year to us celebrating the actual 50 years of the industry's self-regulation, and one organization carrying a celebratory torch today is the ASC. 3 letters that stand for unity, respect, and responsible advertising. The ASC is not just about the 46 employees who work to review your ads on a daily basis. It is about us. Brand owners, creators, media implementers, and other allied disciplines. Together with government, our story has become one of success and inspiration that some countries have already imitated and emulated. Over the years of ASC's existence, the organization has grown by leaps and bounds. While our narrative is not without challenges, our chronicles point only to one direction, one that's being stronger, more responsive, and more united. Chapter 1 of our story. For the past year and a half, our industry through the ASC has done so much that we can be proud about. In the story pages of our process, the pandemic has actually pushed us to reinvent. Gone are the days when applicants have to wait to be called for their applications. Today, with technology, we have built a system that allows us to be able to get their communication materials screened even without leaving their homes and with ease. Our application portal has been serving the industry for only a tad over 2 years, but we have already crossed borders. Now, we receive applications from Singapore, the Middle East, Australia, and even other countries from Europe. Many more will be done. For instance, the ASC is working on allowing applicants to be able to present their work virtually. When before we had the ability to do a face-to-face presentation, this is what we are going to be doing for the industry. This will enable for a speedier application procedure, a more accurate way of reviewing materials, and a better manner to understand the content being applied. We are looking at having this new system in place by Q4 of this year, or latest by Q1 of 2026. Because of the call to always be updated and be in tune with the times, the ASC has also consistently been improving and upgrading its Code of Ethics and Standards. As mentioned by Mr. Nick Dow a while ago, last April 2024, the ASC launched the enhanced version of our code. This was the fruition of builds from its member organizations. Key to this effort was the openness and collaboration of everyone and the willingness to hear out the members' thoughts. And even after the 2024 launch, the Code of Standards continues to be streamlined based on business environment. Some of the reforms were about promotional as well as collateral materials being screened with the ASC. Another is the acceptance of other data providers as substantiation for a number one claim. More provisional reviews are being done as we profess an organization that is more agile and responsive to the needs of the industry without sacrificing the tenets of truth, decency, and responsibility. The ASC management has also taken a very active role in getting all members on the same page with regard to understanding of the code and standards. Just within 2024, the ASC has roughly given 30 orientations to brand owners and creative agencies, both members and non-members. And more than the traditional familiarization process, the ASC has gone further by enabling discussion sessions specific to the needs of each company. This helped the creation of materials aligned with the code without sacrificing their own brand story. Chapter 2. Don't worry, we only have 3 chapters. Alignment of resources to serve the industry better. The ASC started humbly, did you even know, with just 3 permanent screeners, a couple of ad specialists and coders, and support from back-end staff. That was way back in 2008. Today, to meet the work demands, the ASC has a complement of almost 50 dedicated, experienced, and committed force that cares for all of you. With knowledge and background spanning health, fast-moving goods, retail, and services, the well-oiled machinery and structure of the ASC is one that is considered as world-class, that even other countries' standards are based upon. With the unwavering energy of this 50-strong organization, this ASC now processes an average of 275 applications per day. Prior to the pandemic, what we would consider already as a huge number would be around 125 to 145. And we respond close to 200 emails daily. This does not include the emails that you send after we have responded to your original emails. The ASC management has also taken to task consultative meetings and dialogues with various organizations like the Cosmetics, Toiletries, and Fragrances Association of the Philippines, or CITIFAP, the Consumer Healthcare Association of the Philippines, or CHAP, the Creator and Influencer Council of the Philippines, or the CICP, to name a few, to be able to explain the goodness behind self-regulation and how a more cohesive cooperation can be manifested in light of the rules being applied by the industry through our code and standards. Needless to say, this dedication will continue to be done as our service to you all. As we now move to chapter 3, our story unfolds with a very quick understanding of self-regulation's history. In 1974, leaders from both the advertisers and creative agency asked the government to be allowed to self-regulate in view of the situation then, wherein the country was under martial law. The government allowed the industry to self-regulate in 1976 with an approved code of ethics, as well as the existence of ASC's predecessor, the Philippine Board of Advertising. Then, until now, our industry carries a long-standing partnership with government agencies. Today, our cooperation with government spans a relationship with more than 10 agencies. And we have some of them here as our distinguished guests. Good morning to all of you. We are appreciative of their unwavering and unceasing support to us as we aspire for a more vigorous connection with them. Over the past year and a half, we have collaborated with government agencies such as the Department of Trade and Industry. In December of 2021, the ASC and the DTI renewed its partnership through a memorandum of understanding with the objective of protecting consumers from false and misleading advertisements. This MOU underscores the value of teamwork between government and the private sector. Concerns about deceptive and unlawful advertisements are now more easily resolved. The connection with the DTI's Fair Trade Group has been very dynamic, resilient, and efficient. The Department of Health and the Food and Drug Administration is one government agency that is very vital to the ASC. And this is because over 60% of the total applications that we receive on a daily basis are products registered under the FDA. The ASC communicates with this agency, especially with regard to airing companies that do not abide by the agreed rules, which has been set forth by the self-regulatory system. In the coming months, the ASC will be focusing on having a more sturdy and vigorous partnership that will allow the sustainability of fair trade practices, especially when it comes to advertising. Another agency which the ASC deals with is the National Telecommunications Commission. The interrelation with this agency is critical as the telecommunication industry grows rapidly, especially in its offerings to the consumers. In 2024, a joint meeting between the NTC, the DTI, and the ASC allowed for a robust discussion on streamlining the responsibilities of each group in terms of the offerings from various consumer promotional activities and the subsequent advertisements that communicate these. The ASC has always been working with the Philippine Deposit Insurance Corporation, or the PDIC, which is actually an attached agency of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, especially when it comes to rules regarding mandatory advertising elements like the insurable amount for deposits. The ASC's relationship with the Civil Aeronautics Board, the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development, the Department of Labor and Employment, and the National Historical Commission of the Philippines has always been firm and solid. Their rules affecting advertising production and material development have always been part of the industry's code of ethics. And most recently, the ASC executed a memorandum of understanding with the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation, or PAGCOR, as online gambling takes center stage in both the legislative chambers and the arena of public discourse. This cooperation aims to promote stricter rules specific to advertising. With this MOU, it has been established that gambling and betting advertising is now the 6th must-screen category under the ASC, together with the original 5, which are over-the-counter drugs, or home remedies, food supplements, alcohol beverages, food, milk under the milk code, and transport promo fares. Currently, both the ASC and PADCOR are working on the implementing rules and regulations on gambling advertising. Notable in this endeavor is the openness of PADCOR in working towards a sustainable set of rules that do not or does not curtail business development. We are nearing the end of our story. What was conceptualized by our leaders years ago has allowed us to flourish as an industry and to learn to take responsibility for our own actions and decisions. There are many more chapters to write, more stories to tell. Let us continue shaping the story and share it with the next generation of industry practitioners. Together, we will make our current good story a great one. And as our tagline says, may say ka dito. Thank you very much and good morning to all of you.